Alright, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Geneforge 2, here on my channel, Idle Wisdom. We're here again in the awakened town of Madab. Pardon me. Last episode, Lucian entered Madab, a town comprised mainly of serviles and a few humans. And it's a town that is completely independent of the Shaper Council and Shaper Law. A town full of creations and apparently some people who believe that Shapers and Serviles and normal humans should exist as equals, trading and respecting each other. It's a terribly impious idea. Obviously, Shapers are basically gods on Earth, and everything owes them absolute allegiance and worship. Or at least that's what the Shapers seem to think. So Lucian spoke with the leader of Madab, Learned Pinner, who is a old servile from Susha Island, and she told him of their philosophy, of their struggle, of the flight from Vakari there on Susha Island, to here to the mountains behind Dry Peak, how Zachary and Barzal led the Serviles and took secrets from Susha Island and started doing experiments here and making towns and colonies and doing all sorts of things. So basically everything here is because of Zachary and Barzal. So obviously Zachary was lying to Shanti and Lucian, and Barzal is off doing some crazy experiments still, and Zachary's supposed to be covering up for, making sure that no one knows what's going on back here. Let's talk to these serviles. Zion. This servile looks old. It's hard to gauge the age of these creatures. She must be at least 60. She's been making potions for a very long time, and seems to have lost 2 fingers along the way. Welcome to my shop, she says. What are you here for? Let's see what potions you have. Zion is far more skilled at making potions than you would have ever expected a servile to be. So she has a pretty good, selection. Prices here are expensive, but still not too bad. I don't think we need anything at the moment. How did you learn to make potions? I learned it from my mother on Susha Island, long before we came here. We needed everything we could possibly make to stay alive. So what is Susha Island? We've heard about it. That is where we all came from, years ago. It's where the Shapers abandoned us, and we learned to fend for ourselves and where we were awakened. It was a hard place, but it was ours. Then the Shapers took it from us. You were awakened? Yes. Elrod was alive then, bless his spirit, and he taught us to stand up and to be free, to demand payment for our work, even if it meant death. We owe him so much for his wisdom. Wow. Zion waits for you to see what you want. You notice that she's trembling slightly. Maybe the shakes are caused by age, or the effect of working with noxious chemicals for so many years. Where do you get potion ingredients? When we filled these regions with life, we found places where all sorts of potion ingredients could grow. Not everything grows everywhere, of course, but practically everything is somewhere. The settlements traded with each other once, then the fighting started. I am low on supplies now because an important package was lost. You lost a package? A package of herbs. It was being brought from Us. Then the cavern carrying it was ambushed not long after they came through the pass to the woods. The merchant lives, thank goodness. The goods were lost. It is unfortunate. I might have used some of those herbs to cure sick serviles. Anything else? Well, nope. Alright, so we got another quest. Who are you? Guard servile. Alright. How about in here? Hello? A merchant. This servile is a merchant. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem interested in giving you everything it has, like serviles back home would. Greetings, traveler. Can I interest you in some of my wares? What do you have? Exorbitant prices is what he has. Madab alchemist. Alright, this Servile is slightly skilled at making potions and pods and has some other supplies as well. Of course, the best prices and goods go to the Awakened. So yes, if you join the Awakened, their prices improve. We're not part of the Awakened, so they are not very good prices. Although, to be fair, they're still cheaper than they're in Dry Peak, went from like Alizar and that potion maker there. Once they learned that, Lucian doesn't think the Serviles are all bad. So, I don't know. That tells you something. Yeah, I don't need anything right now. Alright, good day. We're just sort of looking around for the moment, trying to get a sense of things here. Alright, that's Selly. He's a human who helps organize the town and helps Learn and Pinner administer the place. He was also brought here by Zachary. Madab has a pair of small docks extending into the lake. It looks like they used the water to move town building supplies through here to other settlements. They may even also have some crude trade. The docks are abandoned, though. They haven't been used for a few months. Something must have happened to make boat travels dangerous, or no longer necessary. Wow, Lucian's able to tell a lot just by looking at some empty docks. He's like, I was secretly an expert on docks. Sure, pal. Anything, nothing, nothing. Alright, how about you? Nothing? Nothing? Oh, well, who cares? How about you? Dana. Ah. Here's another Servile we've met before. This old Servile is hobbling around town on a cane. She shouldn't be. She's clearly ill. She coughs constantly, and the skin in her hands and face looks cracked and painful. When she looks up at you, she has a very strange expression on her face. It alternates rapidly between love and hatred. It's as if she has long since lost the ability to know how she feels about the Shapers. Eventually, she says simply, I am Dana. Where are you from, Servile? I came from a place called Susha Island. That was long ago. I was one of the Serviles there, left behind by the Shapers. I was in a town called Pentel. We were loyal. We wanted you back, worshipped you, did everything to obey what we thought were your wishes. Yes, she was one of the obeyers. What happened to you? I spent my life maintaining the records of the Shapers left behind. I thought it was what the Shapers wanted. It turns out I spent all those years looking after trash. Yeah, we remember her. She was maintaining Shaper records, but they were all just like minutia, nothing all that important. Evodius finally broke the news to her, and she was very distraught. Then the Shapers came. They killed most of the Serviles on Susha Island. A few fled. Those of us who were loyal, we were treated the same as those who were not. Now, see, that's the retcon over the ending, the ending of Geneforge 1. If this, the most, let me think, the ending that is most in line with, Geneforge 2, still had the obeyers being, basically congratulated by the Shapers and used as intermediaries between the Shapers and other Serviles. But no, and ultimately what happens is the Shapers just kill everybody. What did you do? I fled. Zachary and Barzal gave me a chance to leave, and I took it. I spent so many years worshipping your kind, and I do not think we were treated justly. I do not know how to feel about Shapers. I just do not know. Now, some people might say this. The destruction and confusion was unfortunate. Destruction and confusion was unfortunate, but it was right for you to be obedient even when we weren't around. Now, even if you want to say it was right for you to be obedient even when we weren't around, confusion? Were the Shapers confused? I don't think they were. They're like, oh wow, you're rampant, you're feral, you're rogue. We're obedient. Oh, you're rogues who think you're obedient, huh? Interesting. Die. I think he's gonna Sounds like you have been horribly mistreated. I agree. I'm glad to hear that there are some shapers who can feel that way. It makes me feel better, in a small way. Dana leans on her cane. Occasionally, she wobbles and coughs a little. You're clearly ill. Why are you walking around? I do not want to be indoors. I've spent too much of my life indoors. So what's your job here? My job is not here, but in the library, in the outpost, to the northeast. I help with magical research. I came to visit here when I got sick, and the rogues took the road between here and there. I cannot return. It is unfortunate. I was reading a book trying to understand it. I thought it might be useful with the research. I left it behind, though, and I have nothing to do here. Well, what was that book called? It was called The Paths of Fire. It was about ways of creating flame, magical and not. I would really like it back. Alright. Well, we'll keep an eye out for it. Poor Dana. Oh, man. I always feel sorry for her. What a crappy life. Let's see, who's this red or purple servile? Hey, you. Oh, yes, that's right, Leeds. This servile is very young. He is probably only 10 or 12 years old. Not old enough to work, but old enough to be put to work by the Shapers. There's a piece of commentary right there. He's very scared of you. When you ask who he is, he only says, Leeds. Where are you from, Leeds? He says in a quiet voice, Susha Island. And how did you get here? I want to say that that was a servile who was in town that was in Vakari, but I don't know. I can't remember. How did you get here? Shapers came to our island. Bad things happened. Pinner took me away, made me safe. What did the Shapers do? One was good, one was kind to me, but the rest, they didn't like us, serviles. Most of us are gone now. Pinner took me away. Yikes. Boy. Let's see. Let's go down here. We didn't look in this building over here, where the other merchants are. I think these are blacksmith or something. Smithy, yep. Madab's smithy. Yo. Alrighty. Shopping. Alright, let's see what he has. Yeah, a decent amount of stuff. Not very good selection for this point in the game for a shaper. Although, you know, like an iron sword, that's pretty good if you're playing as a guardian. No. Nothing. Nothing. Alright. What do we have? Grounded robe, Artilla skin tunic, carnelian gloves, iron shield, protection band, vat boots, studded belt, and a venom baton. Not bad. Not bad gear at all, really, for this point in the game. Let's keep going. What? Oh, more turrets. This is probably the way out. Yep, it's the way out. Alright, let's go over here. Yep. Registering the what do you call it? Your non-intelligent creations. I guess we're not registering and them, we're just taking them with us. Boy. Supply depot. Guard servile. Guard servile. Guard servile. Alright, well let's keep looking around. What's over here? Oh, this is the supply depot. Yeah, this is the supply depot. Hey you. Pra. This servile is very heavily built. Definitely one of the variety made for heavy work, hauling and so on. He looks like he's in charge of handling and distributing supplies and building materials. He's also sick. He trembles, and the skin on his face is dry and seems to be coming off in small patches. It looks painful. Despite his weakness, he stands up as tall as he can, and he stares resolutely into your chest and says, Hello, I am Pra. What is your job here? This town is still being built, and it needs repairs. I keep the supplies and hand them out for the work, and if we're short on wood or rock or food, I go out and get it myself. He pauses for a few seconds to cough. Rogues make it very difficult, but when they bother me, that's what hatchets are for. It hurts most when I lose things we need. You fight the rogues. When I have to. I'm not fond of shapers, you should know that, but I am grateful that your kind made me strong. Learned Pinner teaches us that while we should keep struggling for our freedom, we should appreciate that you gave us life. Learned Pinner is probably too reasonable for her own good. What have you lost? Orcs. Carnelian worked very hard to make some better orcs for us. Custom designed for this area. They were going to be nice and big and fat and meaty, and then, when we took them out, some claw bugs attacked. There were 6. 3 died. 3 ran off into the woods. I've offered some of the town supplies to anyone who could bring them back, but nobody has managed it. They're probably dead anyway. There was one problem with the design. They can be very violent when around rogues. They probably attacked the first claw bugs they met and got killed. Stupid creatures. By the way, you will know the orcs because they have X's tattooed on their rears. Well, X marks the spot. Carnelian. Is Carnelian a shaper? As in carnelian gloves? Let's see. While he talks to you, Prob moves around his warehouse. He counts, examines, and shifts around the supplies. Though he's ill, he is still very, very strong. Should you be doing that in your condition? Well, what else should I be doing, Shaper? I'm sick, but I'm not dead. And there is work to do. It hurts, but so does sitting in some hovel doing nothing. Yeah, alright. Alright, right? Yep, alright, too. So we just got another quest to go find his stupid orcs. And I say that in as much as they're stupid, not that it's like we're being resentful or something. These orcs are stupid. Too aggressive for their own good. Shaping chamber. Oh, a shaper. A rogue shaper. Dun dun dun. So, you've been found out. This is Carnelian. You meet a fellow shaper. She is not much older than you. She has a small shaping hall here, where she seems to be working to aid the rogues and rebels of Madab. She seems very uncomfortable when you enter, as well she should be. It has probably been a while since she has come face to face with one of her own kind. She says, "Hello, fellow shaper. I'm Carnelian. I hope you are well." Well, how did you come to be here, helping these rogues? It is a long story how these settlements came to exist, and Learned Pinner can tell it better than me. All I can say is that I was an assistant to Zachary once, when he went to a place called Susha Island. There, we discovered many powerful Shaper secrets that we thought we could use to build a better world. So we came here, and in secret created these settlements. But why are you living here with the Serviles? Because, in my time on Susha Island, I got to see what Serviles were like when left to live on their own. I learned that they have their own intelligence and philosophy, and I learned to respect them. That is the main reason I came to hide up here. The Shapers have great power, but they do not have great wisdom to go with it. Okay. Well, then you are a traitor who thinks carefully, but still a traitor, and you will pay for it. There's the loyalist, blockhead answer. Then there's like, I'm undecided on these issues. I have to see more before I can see if I agree with you or not. That's the undecided, but I think pretty reasonable point of view. Or, it's hard to say this, but I'm starting to believe that you are right. Let's see. I don't know. Does Lucian think that Carnelian's correct? It's one thing to see rogue or rebel Serviles. It's another thing, and it's even one thing to see humans helping them, regular people. But here's a shaper, probably better at shaping than he is, who has seen Susha Island itself. Obviously Shanti would have one use for Carnelian, that is an example. But, Shanti's not here, and Shanti was a jerk. And even though Lucian wants to find her, and if she's in trouble, help her, he doesn't think Shanti said that maybe the way that Lucian was headed, he might be bound for a life of tending Serviles. But is that so bad? tending serviles, but you know, maybe they don't need to be tended. Maybe what they need is assistance, help. Maybe, I mean, is it so bad to ask for treatment as equals? They're rational creatures. They can do things that other people do. Hmm. You know, it's hard to say this, but I'm starting to believe you are correct. I'm glad to hear it. We'd hoped that when you saw what we had built here, you would come to see justice in our cause. At the very least, it seems reasonable. I don't know. Ugh. Anything else, Shaper? Carnelian shifts awkwardly from foot to foot as she talks to you. Well, what work do you do? I do what I can to help Medab. Though my skills are modest, I heal the serviles when they fall ill. I make the occasional creation to help defend the town. I maintain the turrets at the gates, and so on. Oh, she can make freaking submission turrets. That's pretty scary. However, I have a much grimmer quest. Recently, the serviles have started to fall ill from a new disease. I fear that it is a side effect of the many Shaper experiments that have taken place here recently. I fear we may have made a new illness. So far, it has only made the serviles weak and made their skin dry easily and peel off, but it's getting worse. I'm struggling to find a way to cure it. You cure the serviles? You don't just make more of them? There's no way Lucy would say that. Is there anything I can do to help cure the serviles? Well, the healing potions I have been using to soothe them are not strong enough for the more advanced cases. If you could find and bring me some strong healing spores, it would be a big help. Yeah, alright. He's not going to say that. That's stupid. I found a book I would like to translate. Is there a library around here? That's Sharon's book. He's talking about. Maybe Carnelian knows where a library is. Well, there aren't many books in these mountains. I do know that there is a small library in the complex to the northwest. That is where the Serviles and Medab practice and learn magic. That's weird because Serviles don't traditionally be able to use magic, huh? I could use training. Can you help me? I would be glad to help you, but there is little I can teach you. You should go northeast. That is where Medab has built a complex for the study of magic. Leave Medab to the east and follow the road. Well, what can you teach me? Carnelian is willing to teach you Shaper arts. Since you are not awakened, however, the prices are high. You can't buy any skill you've already learned. Alrighty. Well, let's see. Exorbitant, that's pretty expensive. It's not the worst, but it's not good. We could get Searer. If we get Searer and... let's get this Searer. And then we can go get that book there at Cyphar's farm, because it teaches Searer. Let's get Essence. Yeah. She teaches a little bit of shaping as well, but that's really expensive. Too much for us. Let's see. Maybe. I think we'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait. Alright, cool. I don't need any training at the moment. What do you want then? Alright, that's it. Alright, we got another quest. Let's look at our quests. So we have Locate Barzal, Find Shanti, Fetch Iron Bars, Sharon's Book, Search the Guarded Tunnel for Sharon, Find Zion's Package, Clear the Medab Self Road, get Shaper Equipment for Laura in the inn here, find Healing Spores. I think you have to find strong healing spores, find the lost orcs, and find Dana's book. So we've gained a lot of little missions. Alright, cool. What is over here? Mwahaha. We open the door easily. Nothing. A major healing pod. Alrighty. Well, that was interesting, after a fashion. Let's go out this way. should we go clear the south road? Maybe let's go do that. Let's go clear the south road. Although we could do this first. Just open this gateway so we can see our map expand a bit.